God's world is big enough for everybody.
Nazarene, that's against the law.
Then the law is against my heart.
All right. See? It's a revolutionary. People talk about a Jesus curse, you know. All the people that have ever played Jesus, their careers have never survived that choice. It's basically an old-fashioned kind of superstition. But I don't think it's necessarily true. And who knows what this movie did for my career. I mean, in some ways, very good things, and in some ways, maybe, I don't know, maybe not so good things. But I don't care. It was a wonderful experience, and I think it's a great movie, so. I remember meeting Max von Sydow once. Sweetness comes off this guy. He's very dignified. He came over to me on the set of Wild at Heart and said, "Congratulations, we are both members of a very exclusive club." Because he played Jesus in what? Greatest Story Ever Told or something? I get the epics mixed up, but people point to Jeffrey Hunter and also to the old King of Kings, the guy that played Jesus in that, I guess never quite recovered. Now people talk about the Superman curse now.
There's a number of books written about the humor of Jesus. In this particular film, he laughs, he dances. He dances at the wedding of Cana. Again, taking the cue from his criticism in the Gospels by the organized religion at the time as being a drunkard and being a person who hung out with prostitutes and that sort of thing. So that there was an enjoyment of life also. And that's one of the reasons why The Last Temptation is so powerful for him, because of the enjoyment of life.
I think the limitations on budget and time may have worked well for the film because it kept at a certain kind of scale and kept us rooted. Didn't allow us to wallow in it or take too long or think too much about it. Of course, Marty had thought about this project for years and was very clear about what he wanted to do. But for the rest of us, there was just something immediate and direct. You know, it took away from a kind of preciousness or self-consciousness. For me, I can only speak for myself, it was just very direct, very hands-on. It wasn't a traditional film in the respect that we didn't have trailers. We had very long hours. Sometimes we'd have to hike considerable ways to make it to a location. You know, and we were like an army. There wasn't a lot of comfort and the hours were very long. But without getting too misty about it, I didn't think about it that much. Everybody was so engaged and so happy to be there, and we had really left Hollywood and kind of traditional filmmaking behind on this one. I'd say it was just difficult to the degree that sometimes it was frustrating that we'd have to fight very hard to get what we wanted to do.
And I hold the keys, and I open the door, and I decide who goes in and who doesn't. You're my brothers from Nazareth, and you're the first I invite on the ark.
When he goes back to his hometown of Nazareth, is preaching, he's very disappointed about not being able to get, well, stuntmen and people who really could have given me some action when the riot breaks out. We had great difficulty doing that. We also would have liked a different look for Nazareth. Still the same little village of Umnast, the one he leaves in the beginning of the movie. So it's that kind of thing where I really felt the restrictions. But as Ballhaus said, and as all of us understood too, and as I understood too, from having the plug pulled on me in 1983, it made me understand that there really wasn't that much of a place for me in Hollywood anymore, and I had to figure out how to make pictures cheaper and faster. And it was also a lesson, maybe, as I said, of arrogance, maybe. And I had to learn the hard way, and we had to make it the hard way. And the beauty of it is that I'll probably never be satisfied with it. And that's what it is.
Then get up and follow me. So what's wrong with you? Come with me to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is falling. I feel it. I know it.